We're live. Oh, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Do you have yoga or anything today?
No, not today.
Hmm.
Today I worked, went to the grocery store, all that cool stuff. That was about it.
So what's up?
Watched movies, watched a video.
What movie you watch?
Cutthroat Island?
Oh, that's like a pirate thing.
Yep.
With Gina Davis.
Yep, and Matthew Modine and Frank Langella.
Is it Gina Davis?
Yeah, it's Gina Davis.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Always love that movie. It's fun. There's some crazy stunt work in it. And some really good seamless editing to make it look like it's Gina Davis doing it all.
I was watching I was watching a Buster Keaton movie called Go West, where he plays like a New York guy who goes out into the out west. He's like broke, sells all his shit, hops a train that ends up like becoming like a cowboy, but he's got like goofy shoes and like a boater hat, he's not a cowboy. Got like a tiny little gun. It's very funny.
They do a lot of pratfalls.
Yeah. He loves this little cow. He's trying to protect it. I was like, damn, that cow's a good actor.
Now they got that cow to act like that.
But had a nice walk though. I said it earlier. I'm like not wrapping my feet while I do it every day, or like not. I was always wearing an ankle brace on one, and I've taken that off for most of my walks. Partially because I don't know where it is. I lost it, but I'm not wrapping it up. What's up, Ibrahim?
What up? What up?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm chilling. How are you guys doing?
We're good. We're hanging out. We're just discussing our day.
Nice.
What'd you get up to today?
We had a plumber come out because we need a new hot water heater, and
oh shit,
that took way longer than we didn't even get the thing. It was just like he was here talking to us, and then he gave us a quote, and he was like, "All right, I'm gonna go out to my truck and work the quote up, and then I'll come back." And he had a tablet and stuff. This motherfucker was gone for like 45 minutes, just sitting outside, and I was like, what are we doing here? So I went out there and I was like, hey man, I don't want to rush you, but I gotta head out soon here. It's like, oh yeah, sorry. He goes, he was on the phone. So yeah. I think that was, but he was like, oh, there's a lot of options for like what you guys have, so part of it was that I think too, but so yeah, that was pretty much it. And then just been working.
I'm fairly distrustful of people who are, taking a long time to make up quotes. It's like, how much you've been doing this a long time.
I mean, it was almost an hour by the time I went out there. So I'm like, I don't know if it would have taken that long. I think he was on the phone and lost track of time or something, but it's like, all right.
So it's like, man, you see David Lynch died?
I think I saw it right after he left, but yeah, it's a bummer. My neighbor is like a huge David Lynch fan.
Yeah, he's huge here because he was born here. So people are like,
oh, was he?
Yeah, he left when he was 2 months old though, and he moved to Idaho, and he never came back. So it's like,
this false valid
here. Totally, they totally claim him though. They're like, oh, Twin Peaks is based on Missoula, clearly, and they've asked him about it. He's like, no, I left when I was 2 months old, and I never went back. So
that's funny.
I don't know why
people love to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I remember there was when there's something like a shooting, there was a shooting at this mall, and out here, it's like a decade ago, and people were like, oh, I've been to that mall. It's like, yeah, we've all been to that mall. Or I live 10 miles from there. Like, oh God, I hope you're safe from the fucking bullets.
Yeah. Still, rest in peace, David Lynch.
Big RIP to David Lynch.
Big RIP.
I just saw it because it was John Carpenter's birthday today, and I saw him tweet out, I got to be friends with David Lynch when we were both at Universal years ago. Very kind man. He was a big fan of Bob's Big Boy. So was I. Gonna miss him. R.I.P. David. R.I.P. to it. R.I.P. to a legend.
Yeah.
I've never seen any David Lynch movies. That was it's like a big blind spot, and I partially avoided it because I didn't want to like influence me on this like one thing I was making like a few years ago. So I was like, well, I don't want to watch it because then I might be like, if people were like, oh, you copied that, I'd be like, I couldn't have because I've never seen it, you know.
Mhm.
But now I'm like, well, what's the difference? So I think this year I wanted to fill out the gaps like I did a couple years ago with Cronenberg. But
I've seen 4 of his movies.
I think I've only seen his Dune.
Oh damn, I forgot about Dune. So I've seen 5 of his movies. I've seen Dune. I've seen Eraserhead, Elephant Man, Wild at Heart, and Blue Velvet.
Alberto says, hi guys. Uncle
Alberto,
Bubba says,
what's going
you
on,
didn't even
man?
watch his Dune? I personally did not watch his Dune. These two have. But I haven't just because I knew at one point I was going to watch all of his movies. So I just hadn't got around to it.
I've seen, I think, the pilot episode of Twin Peaks.
Mm. I've watched a lot of things that ripped him off. You know what I
I'm
mean?
sure that's yeah.
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 I wonder if he's got, I mean, because obviously Twin Peaks was like a lot of episodes and, you know, seasons and stuff in the end. Like, but I wonder if he's one of the most influential, like, director creators for having like the least amount of work. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Because I feel like so many people are big Lynch fans and heavily influenced by him. And, you know, he did a lot of work, but not like, you know.
I feel like Orson Welles might have, because Orson Welles didn't make that many movies.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like, I think it's a conversation. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's like a small list of people who fit that category. And
yeah.
They're both 2 of them, you know?
Yeah.
And Lynch, I mean, like, just because it's just like a different era, like from that generation, it's got to be just him, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not really a big Lynch head, and I've seen a few of his movies, but definitely like I've seen the vibe of like the weirdness, the oddities of Lynch. Kind of like people definitely steal that.
Alberto Reyes says, "Isn't his Dune hated by everybody?"
I think it's hated by the people who hate it and absolutely loved by the people who love it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
That's kind of Lynch's thing.
It's a hard one too because it's like they have that narration that they do throughout it. I feel like that's kind of like hard for some people.
Yeah.
It kind of feels a little too like art schooly.
Oh, I've seen Elephant Man. I have seen that one.
Yeah, Elephant Man's heartbreaking.
Yeah, Uncle Bubba says,
Yeah,
"Will break your heart."
Lynch
Watched
Dune
it when I was too young.
Yeah, I saw it as a kid too, actually. The Lynch Dune is interesting because it's like it's the first, like, I would say 70% of the movie is the first 30% of the book. And then it just crams all the rest in like a montage almost. It's like, oh, all right. So yeah, it's not great by that metric, but really cool set designs and props and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Like, sorry.
Diamond is Unbreakable from JoJo is inspired by Twin Peaks, right? I don't know what that means. Is that like an anime thing, JoJo?
Yeah, I don't know.
JoJo Siwa. It's a.
Oh, okay. I know who she is.
No, I have no idea. I'm just.
What were you saying, Tony?
Like, when you compare like Villanueva's Dune to Lynch's Dune, I kind of wish you could mash them together. to make one movie, because like all the creepy weirdness that's in the Lynch Dune that isn't in the newer ones. That's where I feel like it's kind of lacking, because he went all out with some of that shit in the Lynch one, as opposed to like the newer one is just kind of bland visually.
I don't think it's
wow.
that
It's
bland.
minimalist visually.
Yeah,
Anthony.
take it easy.
Okay, sorry.
Wow.
Minimalist. You're right. I take it back.
He doesn't get it. He doesn't understand the Spartan lifestyle of the new Dune movie.
Dune. I'm the only one who gave Dune 2 5 stars in this chat, I think. So.
Well, I don't have
and yet you still didn't get
letterbox, but I would give it 6
again,
stars if I could. I love those.
Oh damn! I guess what, Ibrahim, you can't, because you can only go up to 5.
Uncle Bubba says Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening was also inspired by Twin Peaks. That's cool. I never played that Zelda. I stopped once it got to like the systems that I didn't have, which was past Super Nintendo. I was out on Zelda. Also says the new Dune didn't have the weirding ways that Lynch's had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen the new one, and it was pretty weird. So I was fucking with the what are their names, like the bald guys, the Harkonnens.
The Harkonnens. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck with them.
Yeah, they're definitely grosser and weirder in the Lynch one.
Ibrahim, you said that you read the books, or did you?
The first one. Well, I don't know. I can't remember if I finished.
He's such a nerd, bro.
Jesus, that was loud, dude.
I know I had to lower it. My bad. I was supposed to set that up before. My bad. It blew out my own fucking ears doing that. But yeah, you read the first one?
Yes. Or most of it anyway. I need to check actually. It's very good, but it's also just kind of like, damn, they really did a good job streamlining it and making it more palatable for the movies.
Quote said drunk Hooters hero. Yeah. She was awesome.
I don't know if Ibrahim saw that one.
Yeah, Ibrahim, last week we watched somebody's DUI where she was a Hooters waitress and she tried to flirt with the cop. And then when he was going no, ma'am, no, please, comply with this thing that I'm trying to do right now. She starts going, don't be such a nerd, bro. And she starts going, I'm a nerd. So I said on last week I needed to clip that, so I did, and then I blasted our ears out with it because I forgot to set my.
And now I know.
Yeah. You know what? I should. The only reason I didn't fix my sound settings before was because I wasn't trying to.
Oh, he's such a nerd, bro.
You know what I mean? It's nice having you back on the show, though. Me and Tony were discussing this last week because I was like, yeah, he's been gone for 4 weeks, and Tony said it's only been 3 because we didn't have a show one of those weeks, and I was like, well, yeah, but he was gone for 4 because he wasn't here, but none of us else were either.
I think it just felt longer because my presence was so missed, probably.
That's what I'm saying too.
Yeah, I had a stretch of just
a deserved stretch.
Yeah, I took some time off between projects, and it was fucking great. And
yeah,
and then I had some other stuff going on when I was working again, but couldn't make it on one of the nights and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's nice to be back with you guys.
The beautiful thing about having 3 of us is you can do that, and it's not that big of a, I mean, we miss you, but it's we can hold on without you.
Yeah, the show goes on.
Yeah, we held it down for you.
Yeah. Made sure there was a show for you to come back to. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't on fire. Okay, well, speaking of the show, it's now 6:30, so I guess we should start doing the introduction. Hello, everyone. Welcome to New Cool Meat Podcast number 9. I'm here. I'm Ramon Villalobos, comic book artist, blah, blah, blah. I'm here with my buddy, Tony Grigori.
Yep, that's me.
And Ibrahim Mustafa.
What's going on?
Did I pronounce that correctly? I feel like one time you corrected us. Like you said, here's how to correctly pronounce my name. And it was such a confusing thing because somebody kept saying it wrong that day. And so I left it going like, I don't remember how to pronounce the name.
Yeah, it's Ibrahim, not Ib.
Ibrahim.
But
I'm gonna get that right.
The
from now
second
on.
half, the first I is Ib. The second
Yeah.
is an E sound. So people just cannot compute that. And I just stopped giving a shit.
Right.
It's like, as long as you're ballparking it and trying, that's all I care about,
Yeah. It's my boy Raw Boogie.
Yeah. This is
The
the call me in the
legend.
streets. Dude, this guy who I used to like teach some stuff to back in the day, he posted a video, like a dance video on Instagram, and I was like, yo, that was he, dude. And he goes, thank you, bro. That means that means a lot coming from you, OG. And I was like, damn, I'm an OG. I forgot.
Getting called an OG, getting called an unk is so sick now that I'm like older,
Right?
Sophie says shit. I think I've been saying Ibrahim.
Yeah, it's okay.
You're racist.
I've been saying SoFi for a while, so
like the banking institution.
Yeah.
SoFi Campbell.
What's that? Oh, yeah, I got it.
Oh, Campbell, yeah. Were you? Yeah, I told you that, Ramon. I don't know if Tony was here, but remember when I was like, did you guys realize that Mr. Belding in Saved by the Bell is Bell Ding? And we were all like,
that blew my mind for real. Like, wait, because they're saved by the fucking bell. This is sound the bell makes. That's so crazy.
He's been trying to save those kids for years.
Couldn't save Screech.
He was beyond saving. These people are beyond saving.
So, since you've been gone, shout out to Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah, fill me in.
Like Kelly Clarkson in like 04, 03, something like that. But since you've been gone, we've started a new segment. It's taken over. It's taken the streets by storm, frankly. It's called Irrelevant News Break. Everybody on the internet covers important news. You go on YouTube, you're like, oh, who's Drake suing today? What is Netanyahu getting up to today? These are all things that are important. They matter. We're not covering those things on this show because that's not what we do. We're not equipped to give real information out like that. So I've decided to start collecting just random irrelevant news, things that don't matter at all. And so, and then I'll just, read them and we react to them. You get the idea. It's sort of like, we're having fun,
It's kind of like Jay Leno's headlines. You hear about this?
You hear about the thing? You guys hear about this? So the first story is, my dad was a famous alien abductee. I thought he was a joke, which is kind of fucked up to say about your dad.
There it is.
Oh, well, I guess not really. Here's why I'm not so sure anymore. There's one video available on the internet of my father, Patrick McGuire. It's strange. Uploaded to YouTube 15 years ago, though clearly recorded much earlier. The video frames another TV screen. There is a constant static, and the image is fractured, as if the broadcast... This thing's long. The thing is, I don't pre-read these. I'm going to go to my next news story. This person's disrespecting their father, though, who raised them, Luckily, I packed extra stories this week. Okay. How long is this one? This one's much less long. Okay. Speaking of aliens, there's a lot of talk about drones lately and how drones might be the work of aliens, right? But there's a different kind of drone. drones that we know where they come from and we know what they're doing. And some of those drones have uncovered a 3,000-year-old mega fortress in the mountains. Researchers use drone imagery to analyze the full scope of a massive 3,000-year-old fortress in the Caucasus Mountains. Those are the widest ones. Yeah.
That baby is from the mountains of Caucasus.
When researchers walked the mountainous Bronze Age fortress in South Caucasus Mountains in 2018, they had no idea the ruins they could see were just the tip of the iceberg. After taking to the skies and utilizing 11,000 drone shot images to map the structure, they realized that the 3,000-year-old Dmanisi Gora was likely the largest fortress of its kind in the region. In 2018, researchers discovered a fortified promontory between two deep gorges in the Caucasus Mountain, which serves as a boundary between Europe and Asia. The site had both inner and outer fortress walls. It reminds me of that Ray J clip where
we got an indoor basketball court and an outdoor basketball court.
I got an indoor swimming pool. I got an outdoor swimming pool. I got fortress walls everywhere, dude. My fortress walls got fortress walls. That's how big I'm balling out here in the Caucasus Mountains.
They were fucking with the money team out there, dude. That's crazy.
Don't come to the West Coast of the Caucasus Mountains. Yeah. But it was all too large to map on foot. I don't think they tried hard enough. I don't think they had that dog in them. Like, I think they probably could have mapped it on foot. They were just lazy.
I mean, they built it on foot.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's some lazy ass researchers were like, I think we're gonna need drones, guys. Like, why don't you just walk around it? It's a lot of walking, and plus all these fortress walls. Like, it seems like they don't want you to be there. You know, it's not a welcoming thing to have so many fortress walls up.
Yeah, there's gotta be traps and stuff set up. You know, you gotta be careful.
That was what sparked the idea.
Booby trap shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That would suck to get killed. Like, if you're examining like an old ass fortress and you get killed after like it's 3,000 years old. Like, think about that. That's just been sitting there waiting for a dumbass to trip over it for 3,000 years, and God finally sent them the dumbass to get killed by that trap.
You just had to get that drone instead of a PS5 or whatever, and look at what you do now.
That is what sparked the idea of using a drone to assess the site from the air. Nathaniel Erb Satullo, senior lecturer in the architectural science at the Cranfield Forensic Institute. Yeah, hold on a second. I got something for them.
Oh, he's such a nerd, bro.
Queen.
Tony, was that you, bro? Yo, chill out, Tony. Relax, bro.
Ew, that's disgusting.
Okay. Anyways, this nerd said the drone took nearly 11,000 pictures, which were knitted together using advanced software to produce high-resolution digital elevation models and orthophotos. Dude, that's just a photo, bro. What are you talking about, an orthophoto? Composite pictures.
How's it an orthophoto? They don't even want to walk around.
Yeah, for real.
You need to get some orthopedics in them shoes and get to work, bro. Get to stepping, Gina. You remember that, Martin?
This is a Martin reference for fans.
Little Martin reference, yeah, for those who remember, for those in the know. Composite pictures that show every point as if you were looking straight down. Again, that's just a aerial view photo. Unless they should have told us what orthophotos were a long time ago, but whatever. The team shared the findings in a study published in the journal Antiquity and highlighted how stitched the data together created accurate maps of all the fortification walls, graves, field systems, and other strange structures within the outer settlement. The site turned out to be more than 40 times larger than originally thought and featured an over half a mile long fortification wall. The exceptional size of Dmanisi Gora adds new dimension to population aggregation models in Eurasia and beyond, the authors wrote in the study. Comparing the new photos with 50-year-old Cold War-era spy satellite images of the region, which were declassified in 2013, the Cranfield team was able to assess the entire ancient settlement and see how it had and hadn't changed from 2013.
You went to Cranfield. That's a private school.
The use of drones has allowed us to understand the significance of the site and document it in a way that simply wouldn't be possible on the ground, Herbs Satulo said. Again, I just don't believe him. That just sounds like laziness to me. Dimanasis Gora
told them all, yeah, you really can't do this you can't walk this. It's a half a mile long. You gotta get the drones out.
And when the Cranfield team went to go like do this, they like sat in their truck for an hour thinking up the quote of like the drone that they were gonna need to like take all these photos,
Yeah.
Dimanasis Gora isn't just a significant find for Southern Caucasus region, but also has a broader significance for the diversity and structure of scale settlements and their formation processes. I feel like I don't think it matters. It's 3,000 years old and we didn't need that information then. It's like every once in a while I think about getting rid of books that I just haven't read in a long time or whatever. And I'm like, look, I bought this book and I've had it for like, 15 years. I haven't read it. I probably am not going to read it. I might as well just donate it to the bookstore,
Yeah, somebody will read it.
Yeah, this is the same thing. It's like nobody, if we haven't needed this information for 3,000 years,
Yeah.
Sophie says, God, you guys don't know anything about fortresses. That's a fair point.
I've never even been to one. I can't imagine.
And to be fair, I don't have a drone, so how could you expect me to know anything about fortresses?
Yeah.
And buy me a drone, and then we'll see how much I learn.
Plus, you walk a lot, so
yeah,
it's just not a match.
I'm getting my steps in, dude. I got a Fitbit. I don't got a drone. I actually don't have a Fitbit. I think about getting one. According to researchers, the two fortified walls function together for protection. They were both made with rough boulders and mortar, creating 6-foot thick shields against outside forces. 6 foot thick is crazy. If the occupation of the inner fortress and outer settlement were roughly contemporary, as we suggest, the authors wrote in the study, the settlement could be one of the largest known in South Caucasus late Bronze and Iron Age. That's like one of those stats that, like, in sports where they're like, wow, nobody has ran for that many yards in the third quarter in the playoffs. It's like, okay, that's a lot of qualifiers. A stat makes less interesting every time you add another qualifier to it. The team believes that Dimanasis Gora continued to expand over time as mobile pastoral groups joined the settlement. But part of the population may have been seasonal. Dude, that would piss me off if we have this giant fortress, we're like set, and then now another like family comes to live in the settlement. It's like, well, who's gonna move this fucking 6 foot thick wall that I just built? Are you gonna move it? Probably how they got the outer walls too. Relatively few artifacts were found within the outer wall, which indicated that it was likely a less densely populated space. That, in turn, meant that the fortress may have been only used in certain times of the year. They had a summer fortress?
Yeah, they got a summer fortress and a winter fortress.
Yeah.
That's bougie.
They Airbnb'd the summer one in the winter,
Yeah, this is like a timeshare.
Oh my god.
It really is like a timeshare. If you have all the pastoral groups coming to live together just for like a short period of time.
We summer in the Caucasus.
This is why white people are crazy. Because they've
really been doing this since way back. having vacation homes and shit.
White people have been summering in the Caucasus Mountains for as long as I can remember. 3,000 years ago.
3,000 years.
Yeah. That could never be our people, Ibrahim.
No. We build one fortress and we live in it.
You say, oh, what if we put an outer wall in the fortress? So who's going to build the outer wall fortress? You going to build the outer wall fortress? Just like the one that you have. The other thing
about when our people build a fortress is about that shit.
That's what we've
been knowing about ours.
You don't need no fucking drones. You don't need a drone to see the pyramids
You could see them
Either
shits from
ones?
space, dude.
Yeah, well, your guys's, but they're much bigger. Ours are much more artfully done. I don't want to get into the who had better pyramids.
Yeah. Well, you know, some of
The
us need
size
them
doesn't
to
always
just,
matter.
some of us need them to look more like Minecraft pyramids instead of like actual like.
When we find out what the pyramids actually do, either one of them, then we can really find out this was better. Like which functionally did a better thing. But I mean, you know what? They're both better than just putting them in the mountains underground where you needed drones to find them 3,000 years later. And they didn't even find any cool shit in there. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like,
did they actually go in?
continues.
Does it say or?
It said that they didn't find anything in the outer region, the less densely populated space. It says work is already underway at the site to pull out what researchers claim to be tens and thousands of pottery shards. Build a pot that works.
That is one thing that's always funny to me. Like I understand the significance of it, but they're always just like, it's just like we found pieces of this is a 2000 BC piece of clay, and it's like
On my walk home, I found shards of a Budweiser bottle on the ground. I wasn't impressed. In fact, I thought low class trash fucking shattered a beer bottle on the sidewalk.
You know what's wild too is like when they go into the pyramids and they're like, oh, we found all this stuff, and this here is where they would have eaten their supper at night, and blah blah, and it's like, and then they talk about how like, this is where they buried their treasures because they were entombed with their stuff because they believed they could take it to heaven with them. Like, imagine if that's real. Like,
and
if
now
that's
you're taking
actual
their shit.
Yeah, and they're like, say, where the fuck did I put that pot? And it's like, because some Brit took it and put it in a museum, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Well, what's crazy is like, I mean, with the Egyptian mummies and stuff, they would just take the bodies too, because they just didn't give a shit back then, and they believed in curses, which is insane to me. Like, how do you believe in the curse of the mummy and you take the mummy? Like, that's insane. I grew up, the Stockton museum downtown, they had a mummy. Like, we've talked about this before a little bit, but not on the show. But they had a mummy like in one of the permanent display. They just had somebody chilling their dead body, and you could like take a field trip and like look at the mummy and like point at it or whatever. It was pre-selfies. Otherwise, I bet people would have gotten some good selfies off. But they eventually they were like, you know what? We should give this back. Like this mummy isn't from Stockton. We should like give it to some like wherever it's gonna go. My buddy Jesse,
we were that Body Worlds exhibit once.
Oh yeah.
So did I. Yeah, that shit's disturbing.
Yeah, it was weird. They have them like playing poker and shit, and just like,
I don't like that.
Yeah.
But
There was one
not
where
dressed?
it was like a body like with no skin, and then it's holding the skin over its shoulder like a coat.
That's
I
like,
didn't see that. That's that's
so wait,
grotesque.
the poker playing ones, were they dressed or they were all naked?
No, they're all just like muscle and like no skin,
Strip
kind of
strip poker.
Yeah. Yeah. It was wild.
Oh, Sophie says that the fortresses were underground because that's where troglodyte forces were attacking from. Idiots. You don't know that. You know less about history than I do.
Yeah, sorry,
I don't
Sophie.
really know that much.
I only fuck with 5-tresses, so I don't really know that much about the lesser.
The lesser
Troglodytes. Yeah, right. It says they found pottery shards, animal bones. Yeah, you'll find that literally anywhere because animals are everywhere and they die everywhere. And other artifacts that go deeper in than the stone walls. Herb Satulo believes understanding Damas's Gora could help tell the story of the late Bronze and early Age societies and how settlements during that time were adapted. Hopefully, he's right. Yeah, hopefully. I don't think, again, I question how much any of that matters. Here's another. Go ahead.
I was just saying, it is interesting. Like, I mean, I think this stuff is cool. I like to watch stuff about, archaeological digs and whatnot. But like it is kind of like, so that's what they used to do, huh? a lot
Yeah.
less than we do now. Tight. Like, you know, it's almost kind of feels like, I don't really understand like what, and this is me just being an idiot, but I don't really understand sometimes what the benefit is to like learning.
I never understand.
I mean, because it's like, we know that they used to do XYZ, right? Oh, they would eat this bread, and this bread is still being eaten today. And, you know, they used papyrus to do this, and they did, you know, and it's fascinating. But then you get to a point where it's like, we can only learn so much for, like, you know, I guess I don't really know what like learning about all of that evolutionary stuff of society really teaches us, because like we're already seeing everything that came after it, you know? So it's like, we know what it led to, you know? Like, I don't know.
Well, like, so again, like, here's when we talk about like the fortress or whatever, like I'm going to show you like what the drones uncovered. Share screen. This is going to really like, okay, this is nothing. What you're showing me is like, you're showing me some trash, bro. Like, you can see this map. It says fortification wall. This is the fortification wall, right? Well, dude, white people were, again, we built pyramids. You know what I'm saying? They built like a wall and some random shit here, and then some field boundary walls, which I guess I don't know what that means. This was too much to walk, by the way. I don't think that is too much to walk. I think I could walk that.
You think the Caucasus people, the Caucasians, made the Mesopotamians pay for the wall or whatever?
I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed by this fortress. I gotta say, the fortress core. Maybe something cool is over here. Maybe this is like where they would do the two towers battles.
It's kind of like those old football.
Go ahead.
That's like those football stadiums where they don't finish the end zones, you know? Like, oh, look, it's got the open end zone. I'm like, no, you're just lazy. You gotta close the shit off. You got a wind's gonna get an effective kick. So what are you doing?
So on to
Uncle Bubba, was that a Philomena Kunk reference, by the way? Have you guys ever seen that?
No.
There's this comedian who does this character named Philomena Kunk, and she does these mockumentaries about like this kind of stuff, and she'll be like, and they built a wall because they're stupid. Now going into, you know, it's like done just like one of those, you know, Attenborough style things, but like super fucking funny.
Uncle Bubba confirmed it was a Philomena Kunk reference.
Awesome.
So on to a cool thing that was built, something that we can be proud of. Florida man who built Spite House towers over neighbors, and he's loving it.
Oh my God.
I want to show you this house that he built to spite his neighbors. You know that.
Now we're talking.
Like what? Now that
this is a man. This is a man to study right here.
It says, in the quiet sandy streets near Jacksonville Beach, a towering 10-foot wide house stands as a bold middle finger to the neighborhood. Built on a sliver of land out of pure spite, this eyebrow-raising property has become the talk of the town. Its owner, Mike Kavanaugh, 51, couldn't be more proud. But this isn't just any narrow home. It's a structure born from defiance. Developer John Atkins, the man behind the project, refused to sell the awkwardly sized lot to persistent neighbors. Oh, so they wanted the lot, and he was like, no, I'm going to build something there. Like, you can't. He's like, oh, really? It says Kavanaugh 50.
Sophie's comment is pretty funny.
Oh, I was waiting to hear what she said.
Maybe the underground fortress was a spite fortress. You don't know. I don't think it was underground. I think it was just whack. I don't know why they needed drones. I don't understand it. Instead, he was determined to squeeze a tiny house into the tiny space just to prove he could. Atkins initially dreamed of a 15-foot wide home, but city officials shut down his plans. Not one to back down. He scaled the design down to a mere 10 feet in width. Now, the 19-foot tall house looms over the surrounding backyards and pools, casting a literal and figurative shadow over the neighborhood who once opposed its construction. I think the fact that my home was on Zillow Gone Wild and that there used to be a for sale sign in my yard drew a lot of attention, Kavanaugh wrote in a Business Insider essay. It's a nice house, by the way.
You know, so I'm like obsessed with tiny houses and like alternative living spaces and stuff. And so I watch a ton of videos about this kind of thing. And I've seen a house built exactly like this on a small like sliver of a lot. And it's a like super comfortable looking, totally livable thing. And you can see when you look at the outside of it, like it's 10 feet wide based on like the footprint, but there's actually those bump outs.
Yeah.
Which gives him like another couple of feet total, you know? So it's a really smart way to build a house on like not a lot of land. And
I gotta say, frankly, it's much bigger than the apartment that I grew up in that was maybe less than 10 feet wide.
All those people, dude, they have look how big pools, big houses, they're fine. You know,
these houses do not need to be this big. This is the only person with a logical sized house.
And if he sold off that parcel to like all those other people, everybody gets an extra 5 feet, right?
Fuck them.
Yeah, they got plenty.
Yeah,
I love that neighborhood.
What's that?
Yeah, and I mean, like, it probably adds value too. You know, like
yeah. You got the Spite House. I get to live near the Spite House.
Yeah,
like they might be mad, but that's only because they live in Jacksonville, Florida, a shithole.
It is.
No good football team. No, you know,
nothing good came out of Jacksonville, really. Never.
Curious passersby still slow down to gawk. I still get jokes too. Some friends introduce me socially as the guy who built the skinny house. But what started as a spiteful project turned out to be a golden opportunity for Kavanaugh. Purchasing the home at $619,000 in June of last year, he calls it a solid investment and a perfect fit for his single lifestyle. If I were 40 with young kids, it wouldn't have worked, he wrote in the essay. But for him, the controversial design just works. Well, shout out to him. Oh, despite its narrow layout, the exterior has great curb appeal. Inside, it has a modern feel with beautiful flooring and tile throughout. Designed to make the most of its slim frame, the 1,547 square foot home features clever built-in storage and furniture. The upstairs bedroom has a built-in platform where my mattress sits, so I don't need a bed frame. That's a dub. Bed frames suck. Even the dining table tells a story, crafted from wood salvaged from a local pier destroyed by Hurricane Matthew in 2016. Flooded with natural light through perfectly placed windows, the home feels more spacious than the footprint suggests. The builder did an excellent job positioning the windows to create a bright, inviting atmosphere, Kavanaugh said. He also invested in custom design touches, including a white oak built-in couch. It was a bit pricey, but totally worth it because it's incredibly comfortable and has an artsy vibe. Do you think so? I mean, like, I love how he's making the most out of his Spite House.
Yeah, see how he set the bed in that bump out? That gives him a couple extra feet at the foot of the bed. He's really thinking
and like a little
that
bench right here. That's sick.
Yeah.
How come he's got a painting on here instead of a TV though? That's kind of whack.
It probably is a TV. They make TVs now that look like a painting while they're not in use.
Are you serious?
Yeah, very common in tiny houses because they're like they take up a lot of space on the wall.
I can't tell if you're joking.
100%. Look it up.
If I look it up and it's not a real thing, I'm gonna be so mad. So I'm just gonna.
Here, I'll look it up. Yeah. I know it sounds like the type of thing I would say. It's like a joke.
Oh, the frame TV. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Samsung frame TV. Yeah.
That's crazy. I was like, I think you're fucking with me, but I can't tell. Look at these modern wonders, and people want me to be impressed by a fortress that is shit. I'm not impressed.
You could see that drone footage in 8K on that frame TV, I bet.
It says neighbors who once tried to buy the land from Atkins found themselves staring at a massive structure instead. After the city shot down initial blueprints, he scaled the home to meet the requirements. That's how its unique design came to be, Kavanaugh explained to me after meeting the defiant builder. And while some residents might still grumble, Kavanaugh is laughing all the way to the bank. He sees the property's value only going up as Jacksonville Beach continues to grow. Compared to other cities in Florida, Jacksonville Beach has been slow to develop, which helps keep it affordable, especially relative to other beach towns, he noted. If he ever tires of the home, he could easily rent it or sell it to the next bold buyer. For now, Kavanaugh has no plans to leave his spite-fueled slice of paradise. Overall, I do think buying the home was a good decision, he said. Smart people don't just buy real estate to make money. They buy to have a great place to live and to avoid losing money. So true.
So he bought real estate on the coast in Florida, which is brilliant.
Well,
Yeah.
when you put it that way, some bad things did happen to Florida, Jacksonville, Florida recently.
So in Florida, there's always
just
this
talking about
belief.
tiny homes.
Well, it's just in Florida, there's always this belief of like eternal growth, like, oh, let's just keep building, it'll never die, It's just
Honestly,
expanding the
houses
coast.
like that are the future of housing in a lot of ways, because I mean, if you're in like an urban place, there's only so many places left to build anything. Or if somebody wants to parcel out their land and, like you can build in a lot of places, like I know in California and I think Oregon also changed the laws to where you can have like an ADU, I think they relaxed a lot of the, like red tape.
You can't have multiple
basically on
structures on a thing.
ADUs. Yeah,
What's
well,
ADU?
they made it so you can additional additional dwelling unit.
Okay.
So like, because of the housing crisis that has
Right.
been going on in this country for the last several years, like it's a way to make so that people can like have affordable housing and actually live in like urban centers and stuff. So yeah, good for that guy. I mean, he's probably not like a sustainability dude who cares about, like the housing market for like the future generations and stuff. But, if that's the byproduct of it, then win-win, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I could find anything about him beyond that, but mainly I'm just finding about how he owned his neighbors. All right, so here's another story, a little less, well, I don't know about less funny, but a little less optimistic. Mom washes dirt out of her son's mouths, vacuums it off the floor. Days later, she learns it wasn't dirt. You guys want to take a guess what it was?
Drugs.
A mom of 3 found herself cleaning up a huge mystery mess. Days later, she figured out what it was. Monica Long on TikTok tells People magazine that she was in her Colorado home getting ready for her youngest son's birthday. Oh, wow, the chat's saying poop. That's crazy.
Poop too. Oh,
you say
I'm going to throw a curveball and say it was flea eggs.
flea eggs? That's wild. Monica Long on TikTok, Molo Solo, tells People magazine that she was in her Colorado home getting ready for her youngest son's birthday party when her toddlers got into something. I'm a single mom to 3 boys that are on the spectrum, ages 14, 3, and 2. So our house is wild. You never know what one day to the next is going to be like. My younger 2 are toddlers, so they're just getting to everything these days, she explains. I was cleaning and getting ready for the birthday party to have friends over to celebrate my youngest baby. I was in the bathroom. I came out. It only took 4 minutes, but there was stuff all over them and the floor. I was like, where did this dirt come from? Grabbed a vacuum, vacuumed it up, continued about my day. It wasn't until a few days later when Long discovered the empty container that once held her Pawpaw's ashes that she realized what had happened.
Oh, no.
Pawpaw was on a shelf out of their reach, but they're climbers. They climbed their little way up and got a hold of them, she explains. I realized, oh my gosh.
Now we're here.
I realized, oh my gosh, they got Pawpaw and I vacuumed him up. I couldn't believe this happened. I love them to death, but oh my goodness, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry, Long shares. She recalled her boys standing there with white dust on their clothes and their lips. I pieced it together. I pieced it together. It's so crazy when you find the empty thing that you kept your grandpa's ashes in. You know what? I figured this one out.
I really got to the bottom of this.
Yeah, proud of myself.
Yeah,
Sherlock Holmes. I pieced it together.
That's
the
crazy.
littlest one figured out how to open bottles by screwing and unscrewing them, or biting and unscrewing them. So that's why they had white dust on their lips, and I just dusted and cleaned them off, not thinking anything of it. But they might have eaten part of their grandfather, which is horrifying. After realizing what happened, Long made a video making light of the situation meant just for her sister. I sent that video clip to my sister initially, and she made a joke about 2025 starting off wild. I shared it on Facebook knowing friends would think it was funny. After that, I figured I'd just share it on TikTok. Yeah, why not? Uncle Bubba says eat his remains, gain his strength. Yeah, now he's imbued with Papa's energies.
They have the strength of a toddler and of a 97-year-old man.
I just love that these like, you know what? I'm gonna send this hilarious video to my sister of how my children ate our grandfather's ashes.
Yeah,
She loved it.
I was a negligent parent. Let me tell everybody.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna tell my friends and family on Facebook. They're gonna find this great. You know what? I'm gonna tell literally everybody on TikTok. Like, why not just send it to your sister? Ha, that's gross. Let's never talk about this again.
Yeah. Like, I love that man, and you let your children eat him.
They're gonna your son is going to shit out his great grandpa.
You turn Papa into poo poo. I hate you.
Oh yeah, in a way, then they were right. It was poop that was found.
Yeah.
She also shared the humorous situation with her family. I called my grandmother and said, "Mama, I got something to tell you, dude. You would have to black site prison.
Let that woman,
I couldn't get that."
Yeah,
she built a life with this man.
Wait, yeah. Why did she have her grandpa's ashes and not? Why didn't the grandma have them?
Maybe they split him up.
Oh, that could be.
Maybe like everybody got a piece. So maybe like only part of him was eaten and vacuumed up.
That's the part that will live on.
Para says that's what happened on Attack on Titan. Never seen it, but that sounds crazy as hell. She also shared the humorous. What's that?
Keith Richards smoked his dad's ashes. Or snorted.
I mean, that's different though. He meant to do it.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't. Bodies make so much ash, you get plenty to share, says Uncle Bubba.
Yeah, I do. Well, I had my dad's ashes. I took him out to sea and I waded out into the water and I made sure I was standing in the right direction for the wind so he didn't blow all over me.
Didn't do a big Lebowski.
And you didn't think of consuming him for the superpowers that you might get? Some sort of.
I might have. Yeah, I thought about it. Man, maybe I could become a master mechanic if I.
Yeah, you eat just enough to like learn how to rebuild a carburetor on like a Chevy.
Yeah, and also like have 7 children and abandon 6 of them. That would be like the other superpower.
She also shared the humorous situation with her family. I called my grandmother and said, "Mama, I got something to tell you." She goes, "Well, what is it?" I said, "The boys got Papa. They dumped him out, and I didn't realize it was him, so I vacuumed him up." She shares. She goes, "Oh no," but found it comical. She goes, "I bet Papa would have got a kick out of that." And then she says, "Don't worry, we have more Papa." So it must be that they partitioned the ashes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that makes it a little bit better. Long adds, I never thought I'd have to tell my sweet little grandma that I vacuumed her husband up and that he's in a shark vacuum. So she just got a kick out of that. And my daddy laughed too. He goes, "Oh gosh, it would be those 2 little ones that got Papa." As the video went viral and the comments rolled in, Long said she spent the whole week laughing at the responses. Majority of the people had something funny to say and just added to the whole humor of the situation. People had negative comments, but you just let it roll off your back. Everyone's entitled to their opinions, and that's fine. I tried to make a follow-up video to answer some of the repetitive question. They asked why Papa was in the sand art plastic bottle, and it was like, well, we're not rich, and he was a follower of Jesus. Long believes that her Papa would have found the humor in all this, as she's chosen to. We had shenanigan stories of his own from being a principal. He was a Vietnam War veteran and a school teacher for many, many years. He and his wife, my mama, they were house parents at children's homes. She was also a beautician. The rest of the ashes were buried in a veteran cemetery in Texas. Laughing, she adds, this would just be another story for him to laugh about. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, sure. I always found that a little weird, the keeping of the ashes. I mean, all respect to everyone who does it, but for me, it's just like, I don't know, having someone's ashes on my mantle is kind of it feels weird. It's like, well, what if that actually does like spiritually link them to this, space? So they're just sitting in your living room, all day, like watching you watch
keep
TV.
ashes.
Like,
Speaking of
I got ashes.
Speaking of dead people, so Joe Biden passed the TikTok hot potato to Trump. Ibrahim, this woman was on TikTok where she shared that hilarious story, but they're about to ban TikTok, they say, right? So me and Tony were talking about it before the show, like, well, what's going to happen? Like, what are they going to do with the TikTok ban? Like, is it going to go through? And so I pulled up a Politico article because it's 72 hours they're supposed to ban TikTok, but you're not on it, are you?
Me? No.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I have an account, but I've never. It was just
posted or anything.
There's one more thing to have to do. It felt kind of impenetrable, and I was also like, I'm a grown man. I feel like this is for children.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I opened it too, and I would start watching videos, and the algorithm it got me. So I'm like, dude, I can't have another time waster like this in my life, because like I would open it and I would literally watch somebody like putting on new like horseshoes on a horse for like 10 minutes. Like, oh, that's fascinating.
Well, yeah,
it's very.
And also, like, I have a YouTube channel and there's a shorts function on there, and I just like, it kind of feels stupid to do these whole videos where I'm like, here's how I made this figure, and I'm like going through a process, and then to have to try to make one for TikTok to be like, I'm gonna show you how I made this figure. First, I took this picture from the Marvel Legends figure, and then I took this one, and I used this, and then that's how we have our Snake Plissken. Thanks for watching. I was like,
what you would do on TikTok is you would just show the figure before, and then you would go, and then it's finished, and people would be like, what? How do you do that?
But then, and I guess they're two different audiences, but I feel like, why would anyone need to watch the long form one if I'm just like, here it is? Like,
I do feel like, for you specifically, Ibrahim, there's the dancing aspect that could really make you.
But I'm not,
if you wanted to become a very famous TikTok dancer, I think you could, but why would you want to? I guess that's the.
Yeah,
I do a little lock and then you point to one of your figures, and you just.
That's crazy.
I don't know if I'm like good enough anymore. Maybe in my prime
shit.
I could have done it.
Have you seen how bad TikTok like dancers are though? Like,
pretty bad.
Yeah, but here, and I'm gonna sound like a douchebag for a second here.
Okay,
hopefully just a second, but but like, people get bigger accounts off of stuff that they make that isn't as good as mine. And it's just my lot in life, like, to not, like, I'm always like a day late and a dollar short on shit. So I'm like, I'm putting all this time and effort, and I watch somebody who just like repainted the hair on something just blow up, and I'd be like, I fucking made a turtle from scratch, like, so.
Yeah. I feel you. Well, we all go to Red Note.
Well, so yeah, I wanted to go through this article a little bit.
So good.
Because it is hilarious. Like, what's happening right now, Ibrahim, the state of play on this?
Didn't I give you guys the update the other night in the chat? Has it updated since then?
When was it that you gave us?
I was just reading like a thread about it, or I don't know if I read the thread, but I was paraphrasing it, where like somebody on Blue Sky was like, so here's the deal. A bunch of TikTokers have left and they've gone to Red Note. Yeah. And this person was just breaking down like what's been happening with the cultural exchange, and then all these Americans going like, wait, China has a lot of good stuff and like cheaper, better food than us, and like, what the fuck? I've been lied to my whole life, I
just found out my mom smokes more dope than I do. On Red Note in China. No, so the problem is when they talked about banning TikTok, like first Trump wanted to do it and he was like, this is great. This is awesome, right? Like we're going to ban it. And then everybody hated it. So he said, okay, we're not going to do it. You know, like he couldn't do it with the presidential executive order. So then the ban didn't happen. But then Congress passed a law to ban Congress. I mean, to ban, that would be awesome if they did that. No, to ban TikTok. So then that got passed. And then now the Supreme Court's going to uphold it or not, you know, but it's set to expire in 72 hours or whatever. But now Biden is like, well, we can't get rid of TikTok. You guys love it. Trump, I don't think has really spoken on it that too much one way or the other. And both parties in Congress are like, this is a disaster. Can you believe they're trying to destroy TikTok? And it's like, motherfucker, you're the one who tried to do it. I saw a video of Chuck Schumer up there going like, we got to fix this. We got to do something. They want to ruin TikTok. And it's like, you want to ruin TikTok, you know? You did it.
Like a couple weeks ago, Trump was like trying to make sure that it didn't go away for some reason. He was like, oh, let me work with Mike Johnson and try to sign some sort of executive order to keep TikTok going.
So
I don't know what happened.
Here's an article from Politico. It was updated today. Last-ditch push from Democratic lawmakers to get President Joe Biden to grant TikTok a reprieve appeared to die Thursday, as the White House said that the president didn't have the authority to do it, right? Because they passed the law. Because you passed the law. You know what I mean? You could have voted against it. You chose not to. Leaving a vacuum 3 days before the deadline for the app to be sold or banned in the U.S. Our interpretation of the law that Congress passed is that absent a credible plan from the company on how they will divest, the president does not have the authority to trigger a 90-day extension. Because that's what they wanted. They wanted to force a sale from the Chinese or whatever who own TikTok to sell it to somebody else, anyone else. And they were like, no. Like you can't make us do that. And it's like I think they realize that Americans care much more about TikTok than they do the United States government. You know what I mean? Like they don't give a fuck. Like the only way that a lot of people engage with the government is through TikTok. So like you can't get rid of that. And clearly they don't give a fuck about the Chinese taking their data. Everybody takes their data. You know how much times my data has been sold today alone? Probably a lot. You know? So it is very ironic that now the Democrats and Republicans are freaking out about this.
Yeah, amazing cell phone. Just
this poured cold water on a dash from the Democrats in Congress, which included an unsuccessful bill, a late Thursday letter to Biden from Democratic Senators Ed Markey. Oh, shout out to a legend though. That's our dog. Chris Van Hollen and Cory Booker, not our dog, lame loser, as well as a phone pitch from Representative Ro Khanna. Okay, shout out, I guess. Should Biden decline to extend the deadline, only a sale or Supreme Court could avert a ban of the app a day before inauguration. The absence of a clear plan ahead of the ban has set Congress, the White House, and possibly federal enforcers into unknown territory. Biden's White House implied it will not enforce the ban, which imposes high fines on companies like Google and Apple that continue to host the ban on their platforms. Given the timing of when it goes into effect over a holiday weekend, a day before inauguration, it will be up to the next administration to implement, the White House official said. Incoming President Donald Trump, who once tried to ban TikTok by executive order, has said that he wants to, quote, save TikTok. That's an interesting thing to a thing that you wanted to ban before. Sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Democrats wanted to ban it. I've always wanted to save it. I love TikTok.
I love it so much. I love clocks. I love everything that makes sounds.
If you look at what they're doing with TikTok, it's terrible. It's horrible what they're doing. They want to take it. They want to take it. They want to talk it. I don't want to.
Para says that the TikTok CEO is invited to Trump's inauguration. By the way, yeah, I mean, like all the tech guys are just like glazing him like crazy right now. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. It's very annoying actually. Potentially putting his Justice Department in a position of not enforcing a federal law. As evidence of Trump's ties to TikTok, the video app CEO Shou Zi Chu will be a guest of honor at his swearing in. Not just there, a guest of honor. and the company is sponsoring an inauguration party for influencers. Dude, I would love to go to that. I'm an influencer now. Bet US, we're still open for business, baby.
Yeah. I had a good week. So let's go.
Yeah, I didn't bet, but I had a great day today. As you know, my Man United Red Devils destroyed Southampton. It was a masterclass on the pitch, bruv.
What is this, soccer?
Yeah, the Saints are shite, bruv.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
It was epic.
Really, I said, as you know, when I clearly didn't.
Ibrahim.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard Man U fan. I always have been, but now specifically.
I know that about you.
Yeah. I'm always talking about it. The bipartisan scramble to give TikTok more time comes less than a year after lawmakers of both parties overwhelmingly voted for the TikTok bill, and Biden quickly signed it into law. Oh, our hands are tied. If only there was something we could have done to save TikTok. Oh, it's so I hate it. I'm just so mad about this.
Biden signed the ban into law?
Yes,
what he said?
A year ago, less than a year ago.
Well, it's just another thing Trump can blame Biden for, and
yeah,
just make himself look like he saved it.
It's
everybody will go, you've been on record saying you tried to do it, you tried to do an executive order, and he'll be like, no, I didn't. And everybody will just go, okay.
Well, I guess he didn't. Well, he said he
didn't. He says he didn't.
Yeah, it's really hard to say one way or the other. I find it just so crazy to me. I find it so crazy that they wanted to ban it, and everybody the entire time was like, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. They did it overwhelmingly. And then now they're like, damn, I can't believe it. This is crazy.
This part for the Democrats' course,
yeah,
100
absolutely over and over again.
Yeah,
cell phones over cell phones. You feel me?
Democrats thought, what's another way we can piss off the young voters that are quickly abandoning us for for fascism or whatever.
Watch the stories start rolling out from the New Yorker and fucking Washington Post and Wall Street Journal talking about millennials and Gen Z disrupt government, or show no faith in government over TikTok. But they're gonna blame basically the very fucking people who these out of touch politicians are trying to regulate. It's so many people make their living off of that app. It's crazy. I
know.
They're just wiping out livelihoods by doing that.
That's what they're saying right here is and it appears now neither party wants to face a public reckoning for banning an ultra popular app with 170 million US users. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who had been largely quiet on the issue for months, issued his own plea to give TikTok an extension. It's clear that more time is needed to find an American buyer and not disrupt the lives and livelihoods of millions of Americans, of so many influencers who have built up a good network of followers. It's so crazy. Because what they're talking about are people who will be I'm a water talker, and what I drink is nothing but pure what is that shit called? That's in Diet Coke?
Aspartame.
I just drink pure aspartame. I just drink mostly aspartame with a little bit of water in there, and that's we need to save her. We need to save her rights. She has 15 Stanley Cups on the way this week. She can't afford that lifestyle without this app,
Also, while going, you guys, we have to figure out who did this.
Right. It's an attack on democracy.
It's that
we did.
If we don't have TikTok, how are we going to know what songs cops like to sing in their patrol cars when there should be, doing anything else? Actually, this puts a lot of people in danger if the cops are going to start doing their jobs again. This is a huge problem. He's coming for the seed oils and the artificial syrups. This is all part of RFK Jr.'s plan. Make America healthy again to get off TikTok. That's crazy.
You're drinking nothing but aspartame. And aspartame causes cancer.
that's a good RFK. That might be better than Sophie's. Actually.
Oh my god. You're gonna make her crash out, bro. Trump has already asked the Supreme Court for more time to broker a deal, but it's legally questionable whether the incoming president can use the 90-day extension after the ban is already in place. Like, that's the problem. It passed the day before he comes into office. So what are you supposed to do?
He has absolutely zero fucking regard for any kind of laws or any, you know what I mean? Like, if he wants to do it, he'll do it. They'll find some way to justify it or say that it's legal.
That's the same day as the ceasefire. The ceasefire is supposed to kick in too. The 19th.
That got signed, I think, tonight. Actually, I heard that Netanyahu was trying to like pump the brakes on it, but I think it got signed. That's what I saw right before we came on. So I don't know. It's the same. It's the same shit. Like Trump obviously doesn't care. He wants to do worse things over there, but he's just gonna be like, I did it. I brought peace to the Middle East. First day.
For 42 days until they resume bombing and kick it back.
Might not even be 42.
Yeah, this is a stop gap. Like pause. Yeah. This is a pause. It's for them. It's because Israel's a bunch of broke motherfuckers and they need time to regain all the weapons and like rebuild their arsenal of shit after the first round of genocide, of like intense genocide. Obviously it's been going on for years, but like this period.
I kind of feel like this is only my opinion. I have no.
Oh yeah, we don't know what we're talking about, by the way. This is all parody.
Yeah, totally. I just kind of feel like that. Yeah, this is all in Minecraft. But I feel like that deal probably would have came across the board at the same time, no matter who won the election.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I kind of feel like because he would have been like, all right, well, now I've got this new president coming in. Let me try to play nice and give them a fucking olive branch, and then we'll resume it because they wouldn't stop it either. They'd be like, oh, you want to keep going after you get your hostages back?
I think the ceasefire. If we don't even agree that the ceasefire is a real thing, like if it's just for optics for Trump, then why would he do it for Biden? He hates him.
No, I mean,
says it's basically the same deal as in May. Right, it's the same deal that had been offered, but like, no, they didn't agree to it because they didn't have any reason to, and Biden wasn't willing to like fucking put his nuts on the table and say, ceasefire now, motherfucker, and he could have at any time.
Sure, no, this is all Biden's fault ultimately, but I'm saying that like, and Netanyahu he wanted to get Trump elected anyway, but like, so he wasn't going to do anything regardless of, what was proposed.
Right, but Trump did say like, do it. Yeah, because he wants the press.
Yeah, no, he's like, I'll give you this later down the road. I'll let you annex this part of Gaza. But I'm sure Biden would have done the same.
He didn't.
I seem to remember telling you guys, I don't know, maybe Trump will come in and just fucking, put a stop to that shit just because he wants to, and like there's no fucking rhyme or reason, and you guys called me crazy, and now look what happened.
This is true. And now I'm saying that same thing would happen no matter what. So I guess I'm doubling down on.
You know what? name one genius that ain't crazy. You know what I mean? That was Kanye West who said it. Anyways,
he certainly doesn't have the interest of anyone in mind. I mean, it's one of those broken clock is right twice a day things. You know what I mean? Like Parr said, specifically
that's not Trump thing. Yeah, it's 100% just to own them, but if it was Biden, he would have managed to fuck it up. He would have managed to fuck this up for sure. Like there would be no ceasefire negotiation. He would have sent more money to them. That would have been the deal, which is what he did like this week. You know what I mean? So I don't think there would have been a ceasefire. Not that I think that this ceasefire is like an actual end to any kind of devastation long term, but like as a supporter of the Palestinian people, I like that they're maybe going to have a few days to not have to worry about getting bombed at least, right? Yeah, that's a W, I guess.
Especially if it can provide some cover for people to get out, like a lot of people are trying to get into Egypt and Yemen and stuff. So it's like if they can do that,
it doesn't take effect till the 19th. So it's like that's They're still
Yeah, I mean, who knows what they're going to do
ramping up
between
bombing.
now and then? Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
I honestly think as soon as they get whatever hostages back they can, they're just going to fucking go to town again.
I was watching Hassan stream yesterday when this broke, and he was talking to Jeremy Scale from The Interceptor, and they were saying this exactly that. They're like, this is just to get the hostages out. They'll resume it, and like, you know, also like Israel ramps up bombing before a ceasefire takes effect. Always, that's their
right.
Their
well, and they're
so.
Yeah, guaranteed they're gonna say that Hamas broke the treaty somehow. You know,
they don't even need
staged fucking thing, or even it won't even happen.
They don't even need the justification. They'll just start bombing and say like, you don't know what they did. You don't know. We know.
Did you see yesterday? Biden was like, "Oh, Biden said it was Hezbollah." He's like, "Oh, Hezbollah started this." It's like, what, man?
I did do that.
Fucker, what? How are?
Paris says Israel's not taking this well at all. They're seeing it as a huge defeat. Lunatic right-wing dude that wants to destroy Al-Aqsa is resigned from the government. Well,
that can't be a popular position. That's the Al-Aqsa is the Dome of the Rock. You know, that gold like minaret or gold domed mosque. But that's like a holy site in
for them
Judaism
too, right?
Too. Yeah. So like
he says, yeah, well, Ben Gavir is insane. Yeah, apparently, but you know, this is again just parody. This is just we don't know what we're talking about. This is just we're just a joke podcast. We talk about pop culture. That's the thing.
How do we even get here? I don't even what
well, we're talking about ineffectual Democrats. Trump has already asked us.
I gotta step away real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Trump has already asked the Supreme Court for more time to broker a deal, but it's legally questionable whether the incoming president can use a 90-day extension after the ban is already in place. And justices have yet to grant a stay that they heard TikTok's challenge since they heard TikTok's challenge last week. Representative Mike Waltz from Florida, soon to be Trump's national security advisor, said Wednesday on Fox News, "We're going to find a way to preserve TikTok, but protect people's data. And that's the deal that will be in front of us," Waltz said. Waltz had voted earlier to force the app's sale. Even as Democrats argue for extra time, the number of Republican China hawks insisted Biden carry out the TikTok law to the letter. Based on the law, to delay it by 90 days, Biden would have had to certify to Congress that TikTok has a path to divestiture and provide evidence of significant progress made toward it, including relevant binding legal agreements. This is, by the way, an own goal, much like scored by my Red Devils today, which almost cost them the match, but they didn't. You know what I mean? Because my guy Diallo just stepped up, clutched up, scored a hat trick in the last 10 minutes of play, bruv. Master clutch on the pitch, bruv. You saw it, Tony. You were there.
I love hockey.
Bruh. Hold on. Hold on a second. Wait a second.
Beta.
Bruh.
Oh, here, Para says that his position is that TikTok won't get banned. Trump will do something 11th hour and claim he saved it. Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with that. I don't think it's going to get permanently banned. I think at this point there's too many conservatives, too many. There's like, it's just not just conservatives, but like just every sort of American voting bloc would just be too pissed off about it for it to happen. And so like they'll figure out a way, they'll make something happen. I don't know what it'll be, but right. It just makes too much money for full stop.
Yeah.
You can't do that and do everything else they're talking about doing. It just won't work. That's not how the world's going to work. Money has to go.
How out of touch these old motherfuckers are, you know?
It would be like Vegas getting banned. Right. It would be like if our great sponsors at BetUS, which, you know, not actually a sponsor yet. So if you BetUS, if you want to sponsor the show, you please give us some love, you know? But it would be like if they were to get shut down, we would fight for them. We would go to war for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would die for their right to get young people addicted to gambling.
Yeah,
that's their right.
I would storm the Capitol. in Minecraft parody. I wouldn't really storm the Capitol unless you needed me to, bet US. In which case, I'll
what are
go.
the odds on that? What are the odds on you storming the
What are
Capitol?
the odds on? What are the odds on us storming the Capitol if they were to shut down Bet US? Yeah, I would take the over on us actually storming for them. That's how down with the cause we are, down with the movement we are. You know what I mean?
It reminds me too of that these lawmakers. Reminds me of that thing I posted the other day in the Discord about the Alito and Pornhub, where he's like, "Oh, do they have like fun articles like Playboy, like
he has
Gore Vidal
like
articles?"
Gore Vidal articles is so crazy. Yeah, dude, they do for sure.
Totally, bro. Totally.
He was lying. He was like, "Damn, I don't even know what they have on Pornhub. That's crazy. What's on there? Is it like articles? I don't know."
Yeah, is it classy for gentlemen?
Senator Mike Rounds, a Republican of South Dakota, who sits on the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, told Politico, "Divestiture is the way it has to be done." He set a high bar for the idea of Biden or Trump granting a company a stay of execution. No more time unless they actually have a legitimate buyer in the works, and then it'll be for an extension of not more than 90 days. Rounds said he hasn't talked to Trump about the prospect of an extension after Monday's inauguration. Senator John Kennedy, representative of a Republican of Louisiana.
Oh God, that guy's a piece of work.
Yeah, he's a bitch. Told reporters Thursday that Biden won't have to demonstrate that enough progress had been made towards a sale to grant TikTok an extension. "Based on what I know at this time, I don't see that the White House could do that," he said. "It doesn't mean they won't." Markey tried unsuccessfully on Wednesday to pass a bill extending the deadline to sell TikTok, citing the serious hardship and unintended consequences of the ban. That's because he's our guy. We fuck with. He has 6 shoes.
Yeah,
you know,
follows us both on Blue Sky. You know,
well, he follows me on X. I don't know if he follows me on Blue Sky.
No,
I love that I'm calling it X, by the way. It's so sick.
It's kind of makes me feel away.
It's kind of chug of me to do it. It's kind of chuggy. Senator Chair, Intelligence Chair Tom Cotton, Republican from Arkansas, said that Pete Ricketts and Senator Pete Ricketts of Nebraska.
Pete Ricketts. Isn't that a disease, Ricketts? That's like
Pete Ricketts? Well, I think
Ricketts is a disease.
Well, his name is Pete Ricketts, though.
That's an hilarious name. That's
tell it to his daddy. Blocked
Daddy
Markey's
Ricketts.
attempt. They blocked it. TikTok owners had plenty of time to find a buyer, and there have been plenty of willing buyers as well, Tom Cotton said. Caitlin Legacki, a former Biden Commerce Department official, referred to the situation as a game of chicken and said both parties were searching for a last-ditch solution to avoid political backlash. Someone is going to find a way to strike a deal, and they will be regarded as the hero of the TikTok generation, she said. Democrats see the writing on the wall here, but I do think it speaks to the failure of both parties to actually explain to voters why this was necessary. And as a result, we're going to probably roll back what was correct policy. Yeah, that's a great point. Like, she's like, the problem here is that none of us, nobody has been able to say why banning TikTok was a good idea.
Because it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, failure of leadership.
Paris says only X app I acknowledge is Zhao Zhongshu, and put the communist emoji and then the star emoji.
There we go.
Speaking of things being banned, I wanted to do a story here that's going to segue into another thing that we had talked about, which was Costco has officially discontinued this popular food court item. Costco, our favorite place, to buy food. You ate Costco food though, right? At all or no?
I have a long time ago. Yeah, I haven't been to a Costco in a long time.
I haven't either because I'm not like, I don't need to buy in bulk, so I just don't buy in bulk. Why would I, right?
Yeah.
But when I used to work with my dad, I used to go get hot dogs or pizza or whatever. I might step there, whatever, whichever paternal figure was in my life making me do physical labor, they would always make sure to buy me a hot dog, which was great. Shout out to Hebrew National. They used to make a great hot dog. Yeah.
Back.
That's right. He said, boom. That's right. Give it 4 booms because
we're Costco guys.
Double chunk chocolate cookie.
Feel-
Can't help myself.
So the story goes, this is crazy to me because I read this and I was like shocked. It says, when it comes to Costco's food court, it doesn't take much to get fans worked up into a frenzy. The beloved cafeteria-style eatery has garnered a swath of dedicated customers that spans the entire planet. No group is more vocal than this loyal bunch, and no menu item ever goes unnoticed. As we inch our way into the new year, fans of Costco's food court are in for yet another unexpected surprise. In a decision that has left countless fans disappointed, Costco has decided to remove its $1.25 fries option from the food court menu entirely. See, that's crazy to me because I didn't know there was such an item on the menu.
Yeah, I would have been there.
I used to go there all the time and I never knew I could get fries. If I could have, I would have.
Yeah.
The decision comes. Oh, go ahead.
I said that's a highlight, fries for $1.25. That's
crazy to me. Yeah. That's
you're getting a lot
of
says
fries question. I bet they taste good, but I've never heard of them. Yeah. For $1.25, that's an incredible deal. Look, hold on. I'm seeing an image where it is on the menu.
Dang.
It was next to the chicken Caesar salad. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, grand opening, grand closing.
We all missed out on the fries. So, which this also is tripping me out though, because remember I read that article, not on the show, just in our private conversations, as I often do read articles to you guys. We read the article about how like fry manufacturers in the United States were like feeling the they're like in a decline because Americans are eating they're not upgrading their value menus because of economics. They're like too broke to get like the large fries, so people would either settling for like the value menus, which have smalls on them, or they're just not ordering fries anymore. So like the fry manufacturers are like, yo, we're feeling this fucking recession or whatever. And now this is one less fry supply that needs to get met, This is tragic for the world of fry lovers, of which I am part of.
I am as well. Send them our way. Got these extra fries.
Uncle Brett says $1.25 is a great price. What's the toll booth Willie charged for a beach? I don't know what that means. That's what toll booth Willie. This might be another reference that I don't understand.
Toll booth Willie. I know beach is a blowjob. I don't know what
that I didn't know. The decision comes at a time. Man, I don't know. The decision comes at a time when popular bulk retailer identified certain items as being loss leaders, which includes the $5 rotisserie chicken. By the way, I didn't know that rotisserie chickens from Costco cost $5. That's insane.
Yeah, how big is that chicken? Is it like a mini little chicken?
No, it's like I've seen them. They're pretty big because my mom would bring them home, but I didn't know they were $5 back in the day. I mean, but the $5 chickens and the $150 hot dog and soda combo, and now the fries. The fries were a loss leader, but I don't know. Nobody ever ordered fries at Costco, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Ibrahim, you used to go to Costco and eat any food over there?
Yeah, I'd get the hot dogs. Like pretty much anytime I go to Costco, I get a hot dog.
I'm reading. We were reading a story about how they've discontinued the fry option, which none of us knew existed.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
We were all like, why they had fries?
I probably would have eaten them if they did. Imagine getting a Costco hot dog and some fries on the side, dude. Game over. What?
That's right. We would have been Costco guys.
For $1.25, no less. Like
no,
dude.
No.
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking how fucking delicious it sounds. I'm using, those little like the condiments. I'm putting ketchup on those things, putting some relish on them things.
Relish.
I'm going crazy.
Sauerkraut, dude. I'm loading up my fries the same way I load my hot dog up.
Because it's all free. I'm putting onions on there.
Man, now you got me thinking.
Did
you say Costco has veggie dogs?
I don't know about all that.
They have to by now, right? I mean, not people are.
I don't know.
The story
IKEA
continues.
Does. IKEA veggie dogs are bomb, dude.
Dog, IKEA is so sick. Like IKEA was like you're a little fancier than Costco, obviously, because you're at a fucking IKEA.
Yeah.
And you're eating like There was one time where I had a signing in the Bay Area. I was staying at either Justin or Nick's place because when I used to do those shows, or I would do a signing in the Bay Area, I would since they both lived there, I would get them to let me crash on their couch or whatever. And since they're such great guys, they would always say yeah because they knew I hated driving. So in the morning, one time before a free comic book day at Berkeley, I drove out to an IKEA, ate breakfast, and then bought a shelving thing, and then just kept it in my car the entire time. And I was like, I just hope nobody fucking steals it. But it's where I keep all my paper now. It's right here next to me. But I remember I was so paranoid that whole day. But I had an amazing morning where went to the IKEA, parked in the you could charge your car, because I have a hybrid. So I was charging my car. So I had a great parking spot. It was first floor, right by the entrance of the thing. Incredible. And then I had the fucking breakfast, which I had never been there early enough to have, and it was delicious.
I've never had their. No, I've never had that.
Every time I would go, I would always just go to the one on the outside that has the hot dogs and pizza and Cinnabon shit. But I never. That was the one time where I was like, I'm eating upstairs today. I'm classy.
Yeah, we're going upstairs, kids. I'm
awesome.
reading the first Google result is from livekindly.com, and it says Costco's meaty $1 hot dogs replaced with vegan food.
What?
Costco takes meat hot dogs off menu to make room for vegan food. Costco stores across the U.S. have said goodbye to the Polish hot dog on the cafe menu and welcomed new vegan food as the chain embraces healthier options.
I think you're reading an AI article.
No, I have AI disabled on Google.
Oh, okay.
On my computer. I don't know how to do it on my phone, but
I don't think the hot dogs at Costco are vegan though.
I mean, it says across the country, so I don't think it means all of them. It's just maybe some of them here or there, But I don't know, because then I'm seeing Reddit posts where people going anyone else wish there was a plant-based option? So, and it doesn't tell me how recently this article was published, but that'd be sick.
It says, while menu options like the hot dog and soda combo, the double chunk chocolate cookie, and the chicken bake generally get a lot of attention online, the food court fries, without a doubt, had a major following. Online, news of the fry removal has been spreading like wildfire. Oh, not a great time to drop that run. With some fans taking to Reddit to communicate their woes. My local Costco used to sell the best fries I ever had and stopped, one Redditor titled a post shared to the Costco subreddit. I would go in and get 2 to 4 orders of fries whenever I want, they continued. To this day, I still never had fries that were better or even as good as and it was only $1.25 for a lot of fries. The author of the Reddit post went on to explain that they noticed their local Costco food court stopped selling the fries during the pandemic and they never came back. I missed them, they said. Costco food court fries were never available nationwide. However, some customers in the East Coast states such as Pennsylvania, Virginia, and New Jersey are still likely to feel the brunt of the unexpected removal. Oh, so they must have not had them in California or where you live.
Oh, yeah.
Speculation online suggests that Costco decided to prioritize moving pizza forward as one Redditor added their thoughts on the matter. A number of locations had them until a few years ago. I wholeheartedly agree that they were some good fries. Commenter goes on to say that another Redditor who works at Costco mentioned getting rid of the fries because the fryers were interfering with the pizza ovens.
They said, "Give me pizza."
give me pizza.
Yeah, the fucking Costco pizza is good as shit too, though.
Can we have both? Why can't they have pizza and fries?
Well, they were saying that there was interfering with the ovens and the fryers. I should ask my sister. She's not just like a Costco person. She opens up Costco's when they put new Costco's.
She's also a client.
She is that too. Although sometimes my sister, I'll be like, "Can you get me a liquid IV?" But specifically the energy ones, they're green. Des, listen to me. I grab her face. Green, only green. She'll come back and she'll be like, "Oh, I bought your liquid IVs," and she'll hand me a fucking pack of blue liquid IVs, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love you, but you need to listen." I'll send her a photo of the ones I'm talking about. She doesn't register. She doesn't understand. She's like, "What's the difference? These ones sound good." I'm like, "Yeah, they're not the energy ones."
The difference is the color yellow. being added.
So speaking of Costco, one of the things that I personally am devastated about if TikTok gets banned, which I don't think it will, I think we're going to figure something out, would be the loss of our favorite TikToker. And I don't know if she's like popping. Like, I don't know if people know about her, but she's one of our favorites in the chat. So I wanted to share some of her TikToks, but obviously not on TikTok because I don't, I'm not on TikTok. I heard about her from my sister-in-law who is on TikTok, and this is our girl all caps Cat. She's the GOAT, and I've been curious about the chicken nugget reviews because they have really great protein content, maybe a little too much sodium. But I'm curious to see what the all caps Cat, formerly known as the Costco Ho. That's why we came to know her and love her. But here's all caps Cat with a review of the Taco Bell chicken nugget. Wait, did I fuck this up? Oh, I did fuck it up. Korean barbecue pizza. That sounds good too.
Costco. Oh, she's in Korea though.
I'm a Costco.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That's super loud.
Korean Costco. No, it's a little quiet actually.
I can see if I can do it.
I love that she's on YouTube.
I'm a Costco ho, and today I'm at the Costco in Korea trying their Costco food court items.
Oh my god, I can't believe I'm at Costco, Korea. Holy shit. Wait, where's the food court? Oh.
So the food court was actually on a separate floor in the basement. Saw some familiar items like the hot dog and cheese pizza, but I grabbed the items that you can't get in the US. This is a bulgogi pizza, and they have this instead of the pepperoni.
A Mongolia pizza? That's sick. That looks so
Bulgogi.
fucking good. Oh, bulgogi. I thought the Mongolian.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But bulgogi is good too, though. I've had some of that shit.
Yeah.
I got some from Trader Joe's.
We get a veggie one from Trader Joe's. It's hella good.
Dude, Trader
It's like,
Joe's.
I don't know what
is
it's
the
made out of, but
Dude.
it's fucking incredible. It's like one of my favorite things to eat.
I got some spicy chicken nuggets from Trader Joe's for dinner yesterday. It fucked me up, dude. I was like crying. I can't handle spicy foods, and yet I continue to put myself in situations where I eat them. Anyways,
Pizza. It kind of looks like the old Supreme pizza. This tastes exactly like the Supreme pizza that they 86 in America. The bulgogi is really tender. 7.3. So they actually had a soup on their food court menu. It's a mushroom soup.
She have some work done or something? She looks different.
There's real bits of mushroom in here. It's really, really hearty.
you think she's changed? You
Yeah,
think the clout changed her?
Maybe she got a nose job or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Sophie says Mongolian pizza. Sophie said Mongolian pizza.
Bruh.
Chill, I thought I heard Mongolian, dude.
It could use a little bit of salt. There's like lots of mushroom in here. Mushroom soup, 6.8. So instead of a chicken bake, they actually have a pork bake. This is the pork bake right here.
Ooh.
Oh my god, there's so much pork in here. Holy.
I've never had a chicken bake.
There's bulgogi, cheese. It doesn't seem to have any of the sauce that is in the chicken bake. This is completely different from the chicken bake.
It's like
It's
dripping
almost
everywhere.
like a Philly cheesesteak. Pork bake gets a 9.4. Overall Costco rating for the Costco food court in Korea, 9.3 out of 10. I want to do the but I'm embarrassed. I'm gonna fuck it. I'm gonna do it.
This is why we love her. This is what brings the boys to the yard.
I was wondering if she would.
I know. I was kind of surprised she said she was too bashful to do it in Korea. It was just subdued air. That was one of the
Well,
most
she has a
subdued
name
airs
tag.
I've
I
ever
didn't
heard.
realize that.
I think she rocks it whenever she goes to one of these ones, like as like a bit, you know.
Somebody must have hooked her up unless she worked at one. I don't think she did though. I feel like we would know that.
I bet a fan sent it in.
Yeah.
Trying to find my button with the Where did they put it? Where is it? Oh. Here we go. This is what I wanted to see because I've thought about trying these Taco Bell chicken nuggets just as a fan of nuggets.
I'm a fast food hoe, and Taco Bell just added new chicken nuggets to their menu. So today we're gonna give them a try. I got a meal which comes with 10 chicken nuggets, fries, and a large drink for $10.94.
That's crazy. That's an insane. You know, there was a while when I saw that the economics of nuggets were such that it was like everybody was in an arms race to get the lowest price per nugget. Like they used to be kind of expensive, and then like maybe like 5 years ago, it was like McDonald's were like $5 for 20. So then everybody had to match it. But then everybody like started skyrocketing these nugget prices because of Biden inflation or, you know, whatever. But like, yeah, them putting out these nuggets and it's like for $11, it's a small ass fry, 10 nuggets and a drink. That's not the 2020 or probably 2019 nugget prices that I was seeing in the market. But let's see what she says about these because I heard they're good.
Nuggets, really crispy on the outside. I think they're supposed to be breaded with tortilla shell.
Really?
The tortilla breading doesn't make the chicken nugget taste any different than a regular chicken nugget. In fact, it's a little bland. The chicken on the inside, however, is pretty juicy and it's cooked pretty well. Overall, there's nothing super special about this chicken nugget. I think it would really have to depend on the sauce, which they didn't give me any. It's actually pretty good with the cheese sauce. Next up, the fries. I've actually never had Taco Bell fries before, so this will be my first
They
time.
look good.
Are they like seasoned differently, you think? Or
They look
good.
like it, huh?
Nice and seasoned, really crispy on the outside, soft and pillowy on the inside. Pairs really well with the sharpness of the nacho cheese.
Damn, I was surprised.
Final thoughts. For almost $11, this was a pretty expensive meal. And to be honest, there just wasn't anything that special about the chicken nuggets. Nuggets themselves don't have much flavor, and I feel like it would heavily depend on the sauce that you get. I didn't get any, so I just had to use the nacho cheese. It worked. 4.8 out of 10.
An exasperated What else you got cooking? Oh,
I'm a Costco hoe, and this is a Costco hoe Lunar New Year alert. Check out these well-made fortune water globes. Set up to 1888. Come here. Let me let you in on an ancient Chinese secret. We Chinese people use these as fortune-telling globes.
dude, this would pop off on Red Note, dude.
she's Korean. That's what's extra funny about it. She's like, we Chinese people.
She's so fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
I see still no bitches in your future.
You maidenless hoes. Get your butt to Costco now. I'm a Costco hoe. This is a Costco hoe Lunar.
Oh shit! She got the Kirkland Lager.
Kirkland Signature just came out with their own lager, so today we're going to give it a try. It was $13.99 for a pack of 12, and it's 4.5% alcohol by volume. So this is what it looks like. It says here that it won a gold
Oh, look at the
at
cat.
the 2023 Great American Beer Festival, and it's a music style Helles. I'm also not an avid beer drinker or a connoisseur. I do like alcohol. I'm excited to try this beer. It's a nice golden color. Bubbles are small sized, and I made sure it was nice and cold before I poured it in the mug. Cheers, guys. Oh, it's really easy to drink. Okay, I'm stupid. I just realized it's Munich style, not music style. I'm an idiot. I'm not sure if this is a good or bad thing, but it really reminds me of like a Bud Light or a Coors Light. It has that watery taste to it. It's really crisp and light and easy to drink. I feel like if you're going to pair this with something, it should be with something like salty, like chips.
What are Mingles?
What the fuck? Pringles?
It's
singles?
a
They
mix
made-
of different Pringles flavors,
What?
possibly.
Hold on. They
Is
sell
it?
Pringles outside the can?
Oh, it's just cheddar and sour
says-
cream. I thought it was several because they're
There's
different
different
colors
chip
on the
colors
bag.
on the side, though.
Maybe they're made from like sweet potato and regular potato and like turnip or something.
That's crazy.
'Cause
I'm
that's a
I'm so
thing.
curious about that. The Costco hoe is always giving us like new information on new
Yeah.
things.
Dude, she puts us on game.
Yeah, for real.
Every time. I tried the chicken Big Mac because of her, because she was like, it's good. I'm like, really? I guess I better try it out if if our girl all caps cat says it's good, I guess I got to try it. She's the goat.
Yeah.
She's the best TikToker I've ever seen.
$13.99. I give this beer a 6.9 out of 10. I prefer something.
Hold on. Uncle Bruce says these light, airy, crispy puffs combine 2 mouthwatering flavors on every boat-shaped puff for a melt-in-your-mouth goodness. Oh, they're like puffs? They're not like chips? That's so crazy.
Stronger like vodka, but this is okay too. Cheers, guys.
So they're like the Cheetos of Pringles, kind of, but they're not cheesy. I guess these are.
Ramona's doing the opposite of de-influencing part. What does that mean? I'm. Everybody knows I want to be an influencer.
I am a Costco hoe. When I found this big ass jar of whole peaches from Costco, I knew I had to give them a try. They were $10.79 for the whole dang jar, and to be honest, they tasted a lot different than I thought they would. Now, when you think canned peaches, you think syrupy sweet, right? Well, not in this case. The peaches were light in flavor and had a little bit of a nutty aroma. Even the syrup was quite light and refreshing. Now, I'm from Georgia, where we think everything is better with peaches. So let's put that to the test by trying these peaches with random shit from my pantry. First up, banana. The sweetness of the banana actually enhanced the peach. 9 out of 10. Now for a Jollibee peach mango pie, this was actually my favorite. Everything about this combination was just right. 10 out of 10. I wanted to get some protein in, so I decided to make a peach protein pop. 7.5 out of 10. Sardines. Now, I really didn't expect this combination to work, and it turns out it in fact did not. 4 out of 10. Final Costco rating for the Zalia peaches from Costco, 8.4 out of 10. So what are you waiting for, host? You can get some peaches from Costco. But boy.
What a queen. All right. Maybe that's enough Costco ho for today. Maybe or off caps cat for today. Formerly Costco ho. Costco queen. She asked me. Does she got Jollibee too? She does. She's been to Jollibee a number of times. Sophie said everyone else on the internet sucks. That's true. I want to save TikTok just for cat, just for all caps cat. You know what? I said that was it. Let's go one more.
Why not?
She told me put the fries in the bag and nobody gets hurt. So we're trying the McRib meal for the first time. So the McRib sandwich is a pork sandwich that McDonald's does every once in a while. The internet people absolutely go feral over it. I personally never had it just because I love McDonald's burgers so much. So today we're going to give it a try. The full meal was $9.69. So this is what the inside of the sandwich looks like.
It's a mess, dude. Have you guys ever tried this?
No.
Have you guys? Yeah, me neither. And I've never wanted to. No. It always sounded like shit to me.
It's pork plus pickles and onions at the bottom. It's really messy. Did they not give me a napkin? Give me a napkin for the McRib? And they made it like this? I look like the Joker. So this is really interesting. I thought that the pork was going to be more I thought it was going to be more whole, but it's really, really processed. It almost feels like a pork patty or it's like a sausage. I really, really, really like the sauce though. The sauce is the star of the show. It's tangy. It's a little bit spicy. It's a little bit sweet. Onions and pickles give it a nice crunch and acidity as well. Then the ranch and the buffalo sauce.
That was the thing. I always wanted the sauce, but I never dined on swine, so I couldn't.
I'm not gonna lie, that actually works. Oh my god! Final fast food ho rating for the McDonald's McRib sandwich: 8.2 out of 10. Bye.
Uncle Bubba says the rib sandwiches they used to get from the school cafeteria were better than McRibs. I think I had those. They were just slathered with barbecue sauce, right?
Yo, what was your favorite school lunch?
Yeah, it was the pizza because I fuck with Detroit style pizza. I love that just rectangular, big ass, just hunk of bread with some light pizza seasoning on top.
See, we didn't have that. We had
cheese, a thick layer of cheese on it.
We had a local place called Silver Dollar Pizza, and that's who supplied our school pizza. So the school pizza was pretty mid, but my favorite was the fucking chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes and gravy, dude.
Bro,
fucking forget about it with the roll.
You know what? That's better. That's better than the pizza.
I tell you, I thought about getting held back just so I could keep going to school and get those fucking
When
It
I
was
used to
so
go to
good.
Chicago, there was a place called Chicago Diner. Or there is a place called Chicago Diner. It's a vegan place. Craig's vegan, so we would go there, and it was so fucking good. But they had a chicken fried steak that was vegan, that was like on par with that, with mashed
Yeah,
potatoes.
dude.
It was like served the same way, and I was like, every time I would go there, I would get it. I remember one time I hung out with Daniel, and he was like, "Oh, I want to get like this pizza or whatever." I'm like, "Dude, that sounds good, but." I have to order Chicago. I have to order Chicago Diner while I'm here because this is the only time I can eat it. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I think he like had got something else, but I'm like, would you guys care if I ordered Chicago Diner? Like, if I just didn't eat what food you guys had, like, would that be okay with you? I felt like such an asshole, but I was only in town for like 2 days. So I'm like, if I don't do it, you know what I mean?
That's a if
they-
you're
they were
yeah,
cool.
they live there.
They were cool about it. Yeah.
I made a like vegetarian chicken fried steak once using Beyond Burgers stuff,
Mm,
and it was so good. I got to do that again,
chicken fried steak is the shit.
dude. For my birthday one year when I worked at the restaurant, one of the cooks, he's my homie, and he was like, he found out it was my birthday. He's like, "Let me make you dinner, man. What do you want?" And I was like, "For real?" He's like, "Yeah, anything you want." And I was like, "Bro, I would love a chicken fried steak." And he goes, "Yeah, man, for sure." And he made us each one, and we ate it together, and it was so good.
But once I stopped eating red meat, it was like I thought it was over. That's why I would have to get it when I went to Chicago Diner because they had it, and I was like, "This is insane!" Like the first time I went, I got the chicken sandwich, and it was really good. It was made of like seitan or whatever. But then when I went back, every other time I went back, I got the chicken fried steak because I can get a vegan chicken sandwich a bunch of places. I can make one,
Yeah,
but I cannot get that.
yeah. No, that's special for sure.
You know what else I was hyped up for me was they would have like with the mashed potatoes a gravy with turkey in it, and you just like mashed all that shit together. I always thought that shit was fire.
Yeah, I was always like a lot of gravies, especially like those breakfast ones, like the white gravy, they'll always put sausage in it, and I could never eat it. And so it always bummed me out. So when I came across like the turkey chunk one you're talking about, I was like, finally one that
Yeah.
I can have, I don't miss meat at all, but I do miss the experience of enjoying those things. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
but it's nice to be able to have like, there's like vegetarian gravies made out of like mushroom and stuff, and they taste exactly the same because it's mostly salt with a little bit of like
Right.
onion powder and other stuff in it,
Once I got into high school, like I stopped getting free lunch. Like we didn't have the, I think it was because my parents started making too much money. Like my stepdad and mom, like we got kicked off. Like we was like, nah, they're too rich. But I didn't like they didn't really give me lunch money. But then my dad would every once in a while. My dad, right? Like not my stepdad.
Yeah.
He would give me like $20 for like the week, and I was like, one day out of the week I would get like a Coke and a pizza pocket. I don't know how the fuck they cooked these pizza pockets at my high school. It was the fucking most delicious shit I had ever tasted in my life. Like that's the one thing like beyond everything, there were these pizza pockets at my high school that were just so fucking good. And I don't know if they're replicable because I don't know how they would have done it. It was just so fucking tasty.
You got to see if you can go befriend like whoever the cafeteria people were who like made those
back then. Yeah,
they might still be there,
Sure
dude. A lot of those folks work there, until they retire and shit.
I'm sure it was like a situation where they just bought them in bulk and like put them in some sort of like steamer or like whatever, like.
Yeah,
So
but they could tell you. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is from,"
Can't eat them now anyways because they had pepperoni in them. But
For some reason, I used to love those like shitty cheeseburgers we used to get, where it's like really thin patties with like American cheese just slabbed over it,
like just wilted on it, not even melted, just like
Yeah.
the cheese gave up on top of the patty.
I'm with you, dude. To be honest, I liked everything. That was one of my problems. But the burger.
No, but people would be like,
burger,
school lunch is so gross, and I'd be like, I don't know which one you're eating, dog, but this is fucking delicious.
At the time of my life. What do you mean?
I remember those burgers being so fucking good too, and I remember like the ones that we had, they had like fake grill marks on them, like didn't align with like the little like wave marks from however they were cooked,
They just
we
peel
used to
off.
have
It's like a little strip.
we used to have like a certain day in like one of my elementary schools where they would have like fake they would have like a fake barbecue. So like it would be like just normal school lunch. It would just be the hamburgers, but they would give it to you in a bag and it would be outside and there'd be music playing. Like they
That's
would
cool.
get like a DJ or something to play music. And I remember that was always the most hyped up day because it was like, it's the same exact lunch. We're eating the same exact way, but there's going to be music and we're not going to be inside that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything tastes great. You don't care what it is. This is great.
Para says American cartoons always made the food look so disgusting. Here's what I think it was. I think white people whose parents like were feeding them weird shit or whatever, they were like, oh, this is gross. You know, like they're weak. We were eating whatever processed, sugar and salt filled things they gave us, and we loved it because it's good.
Yeah, I wonder, are you talking about stuff like The Simpsons where they'd be like, ugh,
yeah, it's always like slime
mung
and
beans
shit.
again or something like that, and
It's the mystery meat, and
slop
it'll like
coming
fall
off the
away.
thing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like a little like hair sticking out of it and stuff.
When did you kill it? That kind of shit.
Yeah, we also had a bento bowl, quote unquote.
Did you?
It was just like a teriyaki chicken bowl thing that I
Teriyaki's
enjoyed
sick.
quite a bit.
That's nice.
I remember there was a food fight once, and like we all ducked under the table because we didn't want to get like food all over us. And then I got back up, and the rest of my bento bowl was gone. And I turned to my buddy Jesse, and he goes, "Sorry, dude." I was like, "Man, I wasn't done eating that." Let's see, what did Uncle Bubba say?
Bubba says, "Did you have actual people prepare food in school? We did, but the next town over had food produced in a central location and then just warm and serve it. We had lunch ladies who actually made it."
Yeah, we have lunch ladies.
I don't know. I think we
change
might
the
have had
recipe sometimes.
I think ours was shipped in, but I think there might have been some stuff that was made in house, or some stuff comes like what they call par baked, like partially baked, and then they'd finish it off,
Yeah, like everything at Trader Joe's, which is why I love Trader Joe's.
Yeah. But no, we didn't have the people who were preparing stuff from scratch. Like that would have been cool.
Yeah.
My sister is the principal of a small school, and I think that they do it because I know she hired a friend of hers who's like a cook. And I think she was like doing like from scratch stuff there.
I remember the craziest thing was like if I went early enough to school because we were on the free lunch program, I could get breakfast. And sometimes I would go in there and they give you like a donut, like a wrapped single donut. And those were so fucking good. And I remember one time somebody threw one away, still in the wrapper. It was on the top of the trash can. And I was like, oh, I want to eat that so bad. But I know if I pull a donut, even if it's wrapped in plastic, it's over for me. I can't do it. Like I'm dead. You know what I mean? So I had to just like watch that food go to waste, and it killed me. I still think about it to this day. It keeps me up at night.
I never got the breakfast because I never got there early enough, but I always wanted the donut. I got a couple donuts actually, a couple donuts, and you get chocolate milk with it. That shit.
We would get.
Oh, now I got to go buy donuts tomorrow now just because we have these
because I just brought it up. Yeah, I might have to go get a donut tomorrow morning too. That'd be crazy. Adjacent to refuse. Adjacent to refuse is refuse. So Tony,
yeah,
how'd you do on fantasy? Our Bet US sponsor maybe in the works. I'm talking to some people over there, but before we end the show, we need to go over your winnings and losses.
I went 4-2 last week.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I got wrong the Pittsburgh Ravens. I picked Pittsburgh, bet against my beloved Ravens, stupidly. And then the Minnesota Vikings,
when did Pittsburgh become the Ravens?
No, I bet against the Ravens. Pittsburgh Steelers played the Baltimore Ravens, and
okay. I thought you said I thought they like changed from Baltimore. I was like, what?
No, they played each other, and I picked Pittsburgh getting 9.5 points, thinking they could keep it close, and they could not.
Yeah, that was a blowout. But I think I also had that too, and it was a bad call.
We both
was like I might have actually like influenced you. I might have been like, do it.
I didn't want to say that, but I was gonna say like we were slandering Lamar, and I kind of went with it and was like, yeah, 9.5 points. Well, I'll never make that mistake again. So I won't doubt.
I wasn't here, but I picked right. Who won?
Oh wow,
Baltimore won by a lot.
Baltimore won.
Yeah, I picked Baltimore. So
I kind of remembered you saying, like, you text me like, I'm not on the show, but I'm picking Baltimore.
I said, tell Tony.
What other games?
4-2. It's a winning week. So
this week we have Texans at Chiefs. That's a Saturday game.
I got Kansas City by 8.5.
Wow, that's exactly what the spread is.
No, you're kidding.
No, it's dead on.
Okay, I got
City favored by 8.
Give me Kansas City giving 8.5.
Ibrahim, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm dead on also with mine. So
Commanders at Lions. This is the other Saturday game.
Oh wow, I got Lions by 9.
9.5.
Give me Detroit minus 9.5.
Hold up 1 second. Uncle Bubba says our donuts were in a 2-pack, 1 glazed old fashioned, 1 chocolate old fashioned. That's crazy. We only had the glazed old fashioned. I'm hella jealous.
Tomorrow.
We had maple bars and we had all of it.
At your school?
I think we had 3 or 4 different kinds. Yeah.
That's crazy. We had the same donut, and it kind of tastes like the one if you go to Starbucks. There's like a glazed old fashioned. So every once in a while I'll get that just to remind myself of who I used to be. But yeah, so Commanders at Lions, Tony?
Yeah,
9.5. You taking Lions?
Take the Lions. Lay the points.
Yeah, I can't. That action's too sweet. Eagles at Rams.
Oh, they're playing at the Rams. Wait, no, it's at Eagles.
Oh, no, sorry. Rams at Eagles. Rams at Eagles.
Yeah, I got Eagles are going to be favored by 7.
Eagles are favored by 6.
Can the Rams keep it close? I don't think so. Give me Philly laying 6 points.
I don't think so either. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Their team did not look good last week. I got to be honest, and they were playing like a pretty bad team. So
yeah.
And then
Jalen Hurts.
Ravens at Bills. That is the game of the week.
Woo. I'm going to say Bills are going to be favored by 5.5.
Wow. No, Baltimore is favored by a single point on the road.
Favored?
Baltimore's favored. Obviously, you have to take Baltimore. You picked them last week with that action. Yeah.
I'm picking Baltimore.
I think they're gonna get the most amount of yards and also touchdowns and field goals. So
that'll clinch it. If they get more points and more yards than the other team,
it's
absolutely.
Win.
I'm Tony, saying this all the time. It's about yardage.
You're picking against Josh Allen?
I am, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, guess what? I might not be watching one of those games because Man U will be playing Brighton, okay, at 6 a.m. in the morning. So actually, I can watch all of that. I can actually just wake up at 6 and watch my footy team, and then I can watch football after that. Fake football after real football. You know what I'm saying?
Are you really getting up at 6 a.m. to watch a soccer game?
I will be this Sunday. Yeah, absolutely.
He's not good.
What are you talking about? I watched soccer today.
At 6 a.m.?
No, it was at noon today, but I can't control when the game happens. I'll be watching. Listen, since you guys are doubting me, I'm going to be watching my fucking Man U, my Red Devils, bruv.
We're going to need you to post, like in the Discord, shoot some updates so we know you're watching. Yeah.
Oh, Amadialo. That's what we'll be singing that morning because my guy, Ahmad, cooked the whole team, got a hat trick, one of the youngest to ever do it. Opara says, West Coast footy fandom is peak, sports all day. Absolutely. I'm not taking breaks. Okay. Yeah, so that was the sports segment of the show.
Not sponsored by BetUS Sports.
Not sponsored by BetUS. Although BetUS, hit us up. If you sponsor us, we'll talk even more about gambling. I promise that. Can't talk less about it.
You bet
So
your
what else is-
ass. Bet US. That'll be our slogan.
Do you have any dogs of the week last week, Tony?
Yeah, the Packers. Just
Oh, they're the Steelers.
Yeah.
Who was the dog? Who was the
Jordan Love?
Who's the Cujo?
The Cujo would have to be Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. I give
My
him
Cujo was Diallo from my Man U Red Devils, baby. MUFC, that's the team for me. Glory, glory, Man U. That's how we're rolling into 2025.
You know the Warriors are bad when you're syncing this up.
How dare you? My Warriors won a game yesterday. Convincingly, too, by the way. Unlike your Miami Heat, who lost to the Lakers.
You guys won by like a basket, didn't you? Wasn't it 2 points?
Well, we were up by more than that. They just almost beat us. We won. We were up like 10 points. It just we won by a goal. Yes, we won by a single basket, or not even a basket, 1 point. But yeah, and I ride or die with that team too. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to show you something crazy. Hold on. I'm about to blow your mind. It's taking me longer than I thought it would.
I'm excited for soccer, Ramon, I have to say.
Aren't you? I am too.
Because I know the game, so like I can actually participate in those conversations.
Well, hey, bro, who's your Premier League team?
Probably the South Chelsea Stockpilers.
Absolutely, bro. They're one of my least favorite teams. I hate them with a passion. Look at that. Who's that?
I don't know.
That's my boy Draymond Green in the Man U jersey, baby. What a ludicrous display.
That's crazy. Do they even have Chevys in the UK?
I was wondering that. I was really wondering if like because they were a sponsor for a long time. Now it's something called Snapdragon. But I was wondering, like, do they drive Chevys over there?
Aren't the roads?
I don't think I watch a lot of British shows and stuff. I don't think I've ever seen a Chevy.
I've never seen one. Yeah.
Of any kind.
Man U has American owners. That's why they're number
Malibu.
one, baby. That's why they're number one, baby. Or they used to. That's why.
Wait, which team does Tony Khan own? That's the one I'm a fan of.
I don't know if he owns a soccer team.
Yeah, he does. He ons a soccer team. I don't know which one.
Same owners, Bucks. Oh, my former,
the
my
Glazers?
second favorite team, my East Coast team, the Bucks. He says he owns Fulham.
Ah, that's my team.
Okay, shout out.
The Fulham Cons? I don't know.
None of you guys are into soccer like I am. Okay? That's number one. I'm the number one hooligan in the chat.
No debate.
Who does
no argument here.
Who does Mohamed Salah play for?
Para
Para probably knows.
Para, hit us up. Give us the Salah info. He said Fulham is just Fulham. They ain't got no they don't got no Rizzy. They don't got no aura. Like Washington. No, Washington has a team name. It's the Commanders now.
Oh, he plays for Liverpool FC. That's my team then.
Oh, shout out! They're like one of the best teams. You came up.
Wow, what a bandwagoner!
I'm on the bandwagon for the Egyptian king of football, Mohamed Salah.
Is he the Egyptian goat?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's awesome.
My boy Chicharito used to play for Man U, I think. Maybe. Para, am I right about that? Yeah, I'm right about that. But he sucked. But he's still my goat. So he says, "Oh my God, yes." You know ball. Yeah, exactly. I know ball because I knew Chicharito played for Man U, baby. Anyways. Yeah, he said he was okay, super sub. I only know I know Chicharito because I used to root for him every World Cup. I root for I root for Mexico over the U.S. every time, and it always lets me down, but I still do it. I don't know about you guys. Well, you root for America in the World Cup, Ibrahim?
No, I don't really.
You don't care about regardless of who's. If like Egypt
But
played the U.S. in the World Cup, would you root for Egypt or the U.S.?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I'm rooting for Egypt all day.
Yeah.
Especially because my guy Mohamed Salah is on the team, the Egyptian.
You have to be,
Egyptian king of soccer. What about you, Tony? You got both Italy and Greece that you can root for.
Yeah, but Greece is never good at soccer. Italy, I've rooted for them against America plenty of times in the World Cup.
Italy is like, they typically get pretty far. And
I got my Mexican football hat, as you can see here. But look at the back of the shit. This shit's so grimy.
That's cool.
My mom got this for me, and she was like, "Would you wear this?" I was like, "Well, you bought it, so I guess I will." She actually got one that was less crazy, and my brother took that one because I think she was shocked that I would wear this, but I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna wear this shit all the time with pride." So I love Mexico.
Would your brother be mad? He'd be like, you got the better hat or whatever, and he's like, man, you don't even really fuck with this like me. Yeah, and you'd be like, of course I do, man. What are you talking about?
Well, the reason I root for Man U is because I asked my brother Mark. The lore on this was I asked my brother Mark what team I root for, and he said Man U. I'm like, all right, I'm sold. So today I was in our group chat where they talk about like football and our like between my cousins and my brothers and shit. Me and my brother were just talking about the soccer game all day. Like before it started, during the game, after the game, I mainly to annoy them. But then like at a family party the other day, I was just doing that like nonstop. It's just anytime they would talk about anything, I would just circle it back to how much I love Man U. We were talking about like my niece works at a restaurant. It's like a Filipino Italian something or other. I don't know, some weird shit. And I was like, do they have fish and chips? And she's like, no, why? I was like, because I love fish and chips, bruv. Because I root for Man City, bruv. I love my fish and chips. I love my Man City. I love my Red Devils, bruv.
In it.
Yeah. I was doing it so fucking like I was doing the worst British accent, like worse than normal, like just as a bit for my brother Mark. I wouldn't stop. It was just all day. It's funny. Anyways, you guys, we should probably start wrapping up. I guess we're hitting that point. We're about to hit 8:30. Ibrahim, I don't know. Can you talk about stuff that you have coming up soon, like coming out soon?
Not yet. Hopefully soon.
I'm excited for the next book.
Thank you, man. Brad started colors. He sent a batch of 10 pages in today, and it just looks absolutely fucking phenomenal. He's so good. Brad Simpson, for those who don't know, he's been my collaborator on the last 3 books and hopefully on the rest of them forever. But
can't wait to talk about the new one. I like genre-wise, the new one is the most sort of up my alley, so I'm excited.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm stoked. Hopefully, well, I can talk about it here. I guess, I'll keep watching it. Yeah.
Well, we get more people watching the next day, I think, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Or days
it's
after.
not formally announced yet, but basically, it's the quick elevator pitch is 30 Days of Night meets The Last Samurai.
Sick.
But it's kind of a fish out of water thing. So like it doesn't take place in Japan.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm stoked about it. I think it's the best drawing I've ever done in a book. So I'm really excited to get it out there. And yeah, man, it's fun, a lot of action and like, pretty unconventional pairings of characters and stuff. So I think hopefully people will dig it.
Nice. Oh, yeah. Tony, what about you?
I got nothing going on.
Where people find you? Ibrahim, actually, where can they find you too? When you guys
go ahead, find me online.
They find you online.
Yeah.
I would love it if people would check out my YouTube channel. Just search my
I'll
name
link it in the chat too.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll link it in the description below.
Perfect. Thank you. And then also Blue Sky. I'm looking to shift away from Instagram because of, it's just because like literally as soon as they did that thing where they changed their like standards and practices or whatever, I just started getting flooded with these MAGA ads and stuff. And I'm like,
That's crazy.
well, that's a pretty clear sign of where this is all headed, if they just like see this as like the gates opening for them. So and I was telling you guys like growth on there has been stifled for me for a long time. So Blue Sky, I just feel like there's more interaction, more opportunity for people to see what you actually post and to talk, about it and with each other. And so yeah, I'm shifting over there. So Blue Sky and YouTube are the two best places to get in touch and find me and all that good stuff. So
yeah, I mean, I'm on Blue Sky too, but we're on here on the New Cool Meat podcast. You could you could subscribe, tell somebody, say, oh, you listen to any good podcasts lately? Somebody said something like that. You could be like, actually, there's this one on YouTube. It's coming up. It's on the come up. And it's the New Cool Meat podcast. That's the name of the show. You could tell them about that. And newcoolmeat.com. I think you buy my zine there or something. I forgot what it links to right now, but I think it's my store. But and then also follow our shit on El Camino art. We need to get that going and doing more stuff with that. But I'm excited for 2025, you guys. I feel like we're gonna do stuff on this channel. We're gonna grow. We've already got one super popular segment, the news thing where I just read the news. I feel like we got a lot more up our sleeve. I am excited. I think we're going to do some good things despite maybe the world falling to shit. And on that note,
I was going to say, like, it'll be nice to have something
I know,
little
which is why
blanket.
we started it. We started it to like have fun instead of like doing shitty stuff, like being depressed all the time. So hopefully that we'll maintain that energy. I think we will.
Yeah. We're good time, guys.
All right. We'll talk to you all later.
Night.
Good night.
Oh, wait. Oops. I was pressing the wrong button. Here we go. I was like going to